Deep in the Blackwood Valley, there is a place where the sun never truly touches the ground. A patch of wilderness the locals call the Shaded Heart. For generations, the village elders have whispered warnings of the forbidden house that sits at its center, a rotting monument to a forgotten evil. But teenagers are fueled by curiosity and the thrill of the dare, and tonight, 5 friends decided that the legends were nothing more than old wives' tales. There was Leo, the self-appointed leader, Sarah, the skeptic, Jax, the thrill-seeker, Mia, the quiet artist, and Toby, the one who just wanted to stay home. The air grew colder the deeper they walked, the sound of the village fading into a heavy, unnatural silence that felt like it was pressing against their ears. Finally, the house emerged from the fog like a jagged tooth, its windows staring at them like empty, sightless eyes. Jax laughed to hide his shaking hands, pushing the heavy oak door open with a groan that echoed throughout the hollow structure. The interior smelled of damp earth and something sweet and sickly, like flowers left too long in a vase on a grave. They gathered in the grand parlor, the floorboards screaming under their weight until they found a heavy wooden table in the center of the room. There, sitting perfectly clean amidst the grime, was a stack of cards, bound in what looked like weathered, dark leather. Against Toby's frantic protests, Jax reached out and snapped the leather binding, the sound echoing like a gunshot in the quiet house. The cards weren't like any they had seen before. The illustrations were vivid, moving with a holographic shimmer that depicted scenes of medieval suffering. "Let's play around," Jax whispered, his voice sounding hollow. "It's just a game. What's the worst that could happen?" The moment the first card was dealt, the temperature in the room plummeted, and the teenager's breath began to hitch in the freezing air. Leo drew the first card, the Traitor. Suddenly he felt a sharp, stinging pain in his palm, as if an invisible blade had sliced his skin. He tried to drop the card, but it stuck to his hand like it was part of his own flesh, the ink beginning to bleed into his veins. "Don't stop," a voice rasped from the shadows of the corner, though no one was there. "The game must be finished." Sarah reached for her card, her hand moving against her will. She flipped over the Mourner, and her eyes instantly filled with black, oily tears. The cards were no longer just paper. They were conduits for an ancient entity that had been starving in this house for centuries. Mia tried to run for the door, but the shadows on the floor rose up like solid walls, trapping them in a circle of darkness. Toby, trembling, was forced to draw next. He pulled the Fool. He began to laugh, a high-pitched, manic sound that didn't belong to him. Jax, the one who started it all, drew the final card, the King of Ash. As he held it, his skin began to crack and glow like burning embers. He realized too late that the game wasn't meant to be won. It was a ritual of consumption, and they were the main course. One by one, they were pulled into the cards, their screams silenced as their souls were etched into the ink of the deck. If you ever find yourself in Blackwood Valley and you hear the rustle of cards in the wind, don't look back. Some games are better left unplayed. The villagers still avoid the woods, and some say that on quiet nights you can still hear Jax's laughter echoing through the trees. The cards are still there, somewhere in the dark, waiting for a new hand to deal the next round of the demon's game.
That was the harrowing legend of the Shaded Heart, a reminder that some dares come with a price far greater than any of us can imagine. I want to hear from you. Which part of the story was the most terrifying? Drop your favorite moment in the comments section below and let's discuss the horror. What should we uncover next? If there's a local legend, a haunted house, or a forbidden forest you want us to explore, tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this descent into the dark, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know when a new story drops.